Yes, that's right. If you're here, you're looking to make some life-changing money. We're not talking about a measly 10x. Who's happy with 900% gains? We're talking about a 50x or more on our altcoins this bull run. I'm talking about the massive gains we saw from many coins. One example of such was Cardano, literally going from 100 million market cap to over a 4 billion market cap. This didn't register to the top in the last cycle. Explosive gains. But yet, just like this chart on Cardano shows, you are not going to be immune to the highs and the lows that this market brings these level of altcoins, the micro cap altcoins here. Cardano did nothing for months and months and months, and then within a 2-month period, it went from no one knows who the hell this coin is to now everyone wants to buy this coin, hold on for dear life. And a relevant prime example of this is Moonwell. I called this back in August of 2023 when the price was down here at 5 cents, but no one wanted to buy Moonwell back down there because the chart didn't look fancy, and even if you did, you would have likely sold before the current 20x. That is what we're trying to find today. But as you will soon see, there are very obvious signs being in the market as long as I have, spending 20,000 hours sitting in this bloody damn chair. Let me tell you right now, it's been absolutely a harrowing experience to figure out what coins will do well and what coins won't, to allow you to just simply watch a video like this and get all the possible answers. So hit that like button and subscribe if you are new around here. Now I get it, right? No one's happy with 30 or 40 or maybe even 80% gains in a single day. That's pretty sad stuff. Now that the market's heating up, we know it is confirmed, and we can now speculate on some micro-cap altcoins. And this makes a lot of sense to me personally, because as you guys know, money flows into Bitcoin first, then Ethereum, then large caps. Right now, Bitcoin still has a spotlight. Yes, large caps are popping off right now, but it's nothing in comparison to when this actual waterfall plays out and Bitcoin does start to lose its dominance. It'll still go up in price, but just lose its dominance to Ethereum and then large caps. We are going to see nothing like the gains we are about to. And then what usually happens is money goes from large caps into altcoins, like the low caps. However, in my personal opinion, this isn't the same anymore. I believe the same few steps will take place, which will be coming in the next few months, I do believe. But once large caps begin pumping, truly begin pumping, this is just a little bit of a little naughty teaser, if you will, of what's to come. We're going to have to look for narratives. Large caps aren't just going to flow through the altcoin waterfall effect like we can see here, and go from your large caps to your mid caps to your small caps to your micro caps. What's going to happen is there's going to be an AI pump or a real asset pump or a D-pin pump or a gaming or a meme coin pump. These are narratives that will be identified, usually by whales. They'll just tell each other, let's go pump this area of the market. That'll pump up and money will flow and FOMO in afterwards. So it's very important for us to identify these key narratives first and foremost as a part of our research plan, and then look to find the important characteristics that makes a coin pumpable up to and beyond a 50x. Now, guys, I want to say for the record, if you're not sitting here right now in the market over the next 12 months and dedicating your life to learning crypto and making the most money you possibly can, you're going to regret it in the next few years. I'm telling you right now, you won't even remember what your day-to-day looks like in a couple years, let alone even probably in the next 12 months. So I want you guys to lock in and focus as much as you possibly can. I'm doing that by trading. I am not a trader, but last night I made a bloody 8x on render on my position here because I realized I'm not leaving this bull run and just too scared or too ignorant to want to try trading. I created this trading group. I got a whole bunch of awesome traders in to teach you how to trade, to teach me how to trade as well. And you can see I'm already eating in front of everyone the fruits of my labor. Plus, if you guys join with the links down below, we're giving up to $11,000 with Butunics as a sign-up bonus. Plus, we have our own reward structure as well. You can get this group for free. You can avoid the monthly fee. You can also do stuff like get great rewards, get calls with me, and also just make more money, up to another $11,000. Plus, we have a giveaway. I mean, we're just like shoving a bunch of rewards down everyone's throat because, again, the goal here is to get everyone rich with us, to get those who are committed to growing in this community, as wealthy as possible. Now, guys, if you think we've had a taste of what is to come, you'll be right, but it's nowhere near what is to come. Again, we're still in Bitcoin season, right? We haven't experienced alt season yet. And as a matter of fact, if we actually have a look at the Google Trends here, we're about a 50 score right now. We're not even above where we're at the start of the year. This is partly due to the fact that we follow the global liquidity cycle, okay? The M2 money supply is right now at all-time highs since we were all, most of us anyway, some of us, alive. All right? I was 2 years old back over here at the dot-com boom when it was near the same levels as it was today. Obviously, global liquidity increases. What happens? People can spend money. Things are more liquid, which is fantastic for us being in crypto. And we haven't even seen the most important top cycle indicator hit yet, which is Coinbase's app, right? Coinbase's app isn't even inside the top 100 yet. We have a long way to go, so I just wanted to reinstill into everyone here that the best is yet to come, and it's important for us to go, okay, large caps are pumping, but low caps right now, as we'll soon see, these coins are still growing, but they're not growing to the same degree. They have a lot more room to still grow. While large caps do their thing and go with Bitcoin, these right now are the perfect chance we have to get in to some huge gains. But again, mark my words, it is not going to be an easy hold. Some of these coins might take a fair few months to pump. Now, like I said, first step here is to identify key narratives. No point in us looking at some crappy narrative that no one's looking into, for example, right now, like VR or AR, in the hopes that money somehow comes or is interested in our coin in the first place. That is why the coins I'm going to show you today are either a meme coin, an AI coin, a real-world asset coin, or a combination of an AI and DePIN coin. The most key areas, in my opinion. Let's start off by talking about what truly started the last cycle. This was DeFi summer, and I think DeFi coins are going to be just as powerful in this cycle. Now, it's not technically a real-world asset area, but I believe it does encompass real-world assets. I think RWAs and tokenization fits under the DeFi umbrella, and this market already has about $117 billion invested in it because it's one of the oldest and most OG sectors of crypto. And mark my words, it'll be one of the best performing areas this cycle and every other cycle we so far have, as long as crypto as an idea continues. So this coin I'm talking about isn't Moonwell, by the way. Moonwell was a similar coin to what I'm going to talk about here. This coin is a smaller coin, like Moonwell was back then, capable, I believe, of over a 50x Sturdy, STRDY. And the market cap for Sturdy is currently at $13 million, so that's quite low. Of course, I believe it does have characteristics to allow it to 50x in this bull run. And you can see by the chart here, we are up towards all-time highs. So I wouldn't recommend buying this coin right now. I mean, look, it is a 13 mil market cap, so it is very small in that same respect as well. But I truly do believe, buying on dips, not at the all-time highs, for goodness sake. So that's full disclaimer. And also the FDV itself right now is over a 10x. You might be thinking to yourself, Kyron, this coin's got so many more tokens to still be unlocked. I'm not going to buy because of dilution. Now, first of all, there is a lot of crypto misconceptions and dogma around vesting and unlocks. It's too much to go into on this video. I've covered it like goodness knows about 1,000 times on this channel. You can see by the vesting schedule here that contributors and investors, so we call these third parties, the guys who could dump on us, don't even begin getting their tokens until 1 year, so February 2025, after the initial launch of the token, which means by the time we likely sell somewhere in November of 2025, they'll have about 10% of their tokens. Now, Sturdy is a really interesting project. They're doing a very novel thing in the industry, which is allowing borrowing and lending, again, like Moonwell, except the thing here is that they allow you to do this in an aggregate way. So as a lender, like you or I, we can optimize the amount of money we get back by also ensuring that our money goes to the right areas that we get to pick. They call them silos, or basically lending and borrowing pools, if you will. So it does this to optimize the rewards we get as lenders, and also allows the borrowers to have very, very minimal borrowing fees. And so you can see here the highest APY on offer right now for the aggregator, so the lender, is a whopping 36%, okay? And you can get a lot of APY on this. Now, it has $14 million in TVL. Yes, that is more than the current market cap. So market cap to TVL, it's insane. And when it comes to these DeFi projects, guys, as you will know, TVL is like the cornerstone of what makes these projects successful. That's why I was so interested in Moonwell all those many, many months ago, because it had insane stats. No one had found it yet. When the mass market comes in, and it might take a while, you can damn well bet they're going to be very interested in these, number one, rewards, and number two, the application that Sturdy has for crypto in DeFi. One of the most bullish things on this coin is they're backed by Pantera, one of, if not the best and highest quality crypto venture capitalist firm. Most importantly, Y Combinator. Those of you who are startup and entrepreneur geeks out there, right, you know how hard it is to be backed by Y Combinator and entered into their inception program, right, their incubator program. These guys have that massive catalyst of growth, and I think this is a true indicator of the future potential of this coin. Now, narrative number two is real world assets. Okay, so RWA coins, in my opinion, are going to do very, very well. As you all know, I've been pushing Ondo for quite a while, and that's mainly because of BlackRock. BlackRock have their paws in crypto, and now the success of Bitcoin, because they just keep pushing it, right? Now, Larry Fink himself, the man, the myth, the legend, if this page decides to finally load in 3 to 5 business days, actually says in many of his interviews about tokenization, right? And tokenizing stocks, bonds, everything. Now, the coin I'm about to show you does exactly that. Actually, they already are tokenizing stocks and bonds. Listen to what this handsome man has to say.
We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. We could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities about bonds and stocks. And
he goes on. I mean, many of us who've been around the industry now for a few years have seen that particular interview. However, I think it's important for us to sort of look at that, especially as a new investor, to begin to realize just how much the largest asset manager in the world really wants this area of crypto and I guess the industry to succeed. Now, RWA is a very, very tiny area of the market right now, but it has probably right next to AI, the most buzz. Okay, only $13 billion have been tokenized on chain right now. And the actual market cap itself of this industry is tiny. $37 billion worth of coins are currently in the RWA space. I don't even want to begin to think about how many of us will be counting the zeros in our portfolio. All right, most of us, I hope. Okay, so this project, first of all, is Swarm Markets. SMT is the ticker, a 20 million market cap coin. And you can see here over the last 7 days, it's pretty linear growth. But again, it's still such a low market cap coin. I think it has a lot of potential. Now, you click all. Again, it's down like most coins have been from the recent March-ish, April-March pump. That's a good thing. Of course, this shows that it has reacted well already to positive news, not just in crypto, but also in the RWA space. Now, these guys are doing everything Larry Fink just said in that short video clip because they're tokenizing stocks, bonds, and even gold. Okay, they already have done this. And like they say here, it's 100% asset backed and 100% compliant. So they're not mucking around. They have begun to tokenize these already. You can see here, they've mentioned a few, but on the app itself, they've tokenized NVIDIA stock, Coinbase stock, Intel, and all the rest you can see here, plus a couple of different bonds as well. And they also have an OTC section as well. So this means if I buy a bunch of NVIDIA and you buy a bunch of Intel, we can do a swap and come to some sort of agreement on that, directly ourselves, rather than selling this on the open market. That's what OTC means, over-the-counter trade. But what I find most important about a project like this is that, as Larry said, this is the intersection between where we're moving with the real world stuff and the crypto digital world stuff. As we can tokenize things on the blockchain, that becomes immutable, that becomes verifiable, and allows things to move much more succinctly, but also unlock access to people who don't actually have access to things like the stock market, like the US stock market, for example, but they might not be able to purchase BlackRock shares or might have to be an accredited investor to have access to a particular fund, for example. So this just does exactly that. And I think for this cycle, given the fact that we are already at a $12 million in TVL, I think that Swarm should do quite well. And like I said, they're pushing their gold side of things as well. Allows you to redeem gold, own parts of gold as an NFT, and then if you want, redeem that in a reserve somewhere rather than having to buy a certificate like in the current times, and then you can redeem the NFT for that underlying asset. So this is happening right now, and then if you want, redeem that into a physical gold bar if you truly do wish. I'm so pumped on Swarm. Now, the big daddy of Swarm is Clearpool. Now, can this coin 50x? Probably. Would I bet my house on it? Absolutely not. Now, I do think Clearpool has the chance to actually make this happen, but it would be a larger, somewhat safer play than that of Swarm, okay? Clearpool right now is 160 mil market cap. The most important thing that gets me interested in Clearpool is it's got $640 million in loans originated. I like to see these projects being used. Otherwise, it's no more than a pretty cool idea. You and I, for example, could create a new DeFi coin or RWA coin. So we're going to tokenize bloody Elon Musk's new fleet of Teslas, for example. But if it's not being done, then it's just going to fizzle out over time. Clearpool offers the chance for these small Web2 businesses to come in and grab loans in an unsecured way without having to worry about over-collateralization, which is important because most of crypto unfortunately has this problem where if you want to borrow $100,000, you have to put up $120,000, which of course is not efficient at all because who wants to have more as collateral than they're actually getting loaned out? So a big issue. Now, you can see here the TVL for Clearpool is currently at $84 million, which as you can tell right now, the TVL isn't as high as the market cap, but the loans that have been generated through this over time far and exceeds the current market cap. And this is important. As you can see, there is a trend here with these RWA and DeFi coins. A key thing I look for is that it's actually being, again, used. Now, it's backed by some of the best: Sequoia, Arrington Capital, and Hashkey, all top S-tier investors. You couldn't get any better. And I think this is important because obviously investors are a key little glimpse into the success of a project, because obviously they do their own vetting themselves before investing. Now, look, that's not the only reason why I'm bullish on these guys. They're creating their own layer 2 here very soon. Mainnet hasn't launched yet, for a real world asset yield focused blockchain. This will be massive, again, because it's like Mantra and many other layer 1s that claimed to be focused on a real-world asset and tokenization. This creates a massive surge of demand, and this is one of the many areas that I believe Clearpool will dominate this space in this cycle. To me, it's a very clear winner. They have mechanisms in place to create native yield with one of their native tokens, USDX. Now, we have to also mention the team when talking about Clearpool, because it is just simply steps above the rest. The 3 co-founders here, Robert, Alicio, and Jacob, all have very good experience. For example, most of them have had work previously at an Abu Dhabi bank. Alicio has worked at the SEC for Italy, and we also have Jacob working in neobanks in the past, neobanks being digital banks. But they all have the right areas of experience and work at the top levels of their previous employers. So they know what to expect from a market like this, but also how to run a business, which is the most important thing, of course. Now, when looking at these small cap coins, guys, it's also very important to know where they have been launched, on what exchanges, right? So obviously it helps that they're on more exchanges that we can obviously access, so we can buy it in the first place. But if you think about it, the harder it is for you to buy, the harder it is for others to buy as well. So if we can buy these coins while they are on limited exchanges, given that they will do well and be launched on Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, KuCoin, this will unlock more potential buyers because it's easier to actually buy the coin, and the immediate launch itself in the short term should provide, usually at least in previous bull runs, an immediate pump, sometimes even a 10 or a 20x. So it's important to recognize when these coins are on limited exchanges that that's actually kind of a good thing, given they are a quality project themselves. Now, before we get into the next few coins here, I want to tell you about AI. Now, of course, AI coins are by far and away probably the most bullish narrative of the bull run. The reason being is because AI in the real world, like you can see with NVIDIA here, is probably one of the most successful areas, period, right now. When NVIDIA's earnings report comes out and is better than the previous quarter, of course, people begin to get very, very bullish. We also do have a lot of experts in the space that have been saying this since January of this year, that AI and DePIN, as well as kind of merging of these two sort of narratives, is going to be the power duo of this year. That's what DeFi experts predict. And I agree with them wholeheartedly, right? AI is going to be the best part of this bull run. Again, like this article here from PwC points out, $15 trillion market size by 2030. You know, it's expected to grow exponentially every single year. So again, that is why we position ourselves in these coins. And right now, the market cap is only 42 billion. And all these AI coins we look at, of course, we're not worried about these high bloody coins. We're looking down here. What are the ones that had the potential to do the high multiples? Well, first of all, I want to introduce you to the smallest one on this list, or one of the smallest ones on this list, which is Synesis One. 50x from here would put this coin at a 700 million market cap, and I actually do think it can get there. Not only is it in the AI narrative, not only is it the DePIN narrative, not only is it a Solana coin, therefore a Solana narrative project, but it's also a gaming project as well. I know, right? You're sitting there going, Kyron, what the hell are you talking about? Let me explain here momentarily. But we can see earlier on in this year, this coin went to 20 cents, guys. 20 cents from down here at 1 cent. It 20x'd, and now we're back down here only at 3x from these levels. I think given the AI pump and the narrative around gaming as well, we will get to this 20x again, this 20 cent token, but again, even more. So this coin here is a train to earn. So actually it's a fifth narrative, if you will. But what you do is you train AI via playing games or via just typing towards it. And when you train it, you get SNS tokens to the native token back as a reward. But in doing so, developers or businesses that want you to train their AI models, they get a much more sophisticated and tailored AI trained model than they would by just simply getting a whole bunch of data and giving it to the bot and telling the bot to learn it. That is the purpose behind this. And they've had quite a lot of success being such a small cap coin already. They've ran almost 4,000 campaigns. They've sent out 41 million SNS tokens as rewards to people training these models themselves, and the list goes on. There's like 5 S-tier investors here: Kinetic, D1, NGC, and LD Capital. So it's very simple. You click train to earn, you open it up, and you do have to own an NFT. So there is these Canon NFTs you do have to buy. Once you own the NFT, right, the marketplace here, you then have access to be able to train these models. And the NFTs themselves aren't that expensive. The floor price right now is about 9,500 SNS tokens. So that's not that much, actually. That's only $300. And like you can see here, you can also just simply stake for 8.5% APY anyway. So you have many ways to make money with SNS, not just the appreciation of the token, not from just training the models yourself via the NFT and getting those passive rewards, but also by staking any tokens you do buy and own in the interim. So big ticks all around. The next AI coin here is in the AI, but also AI agent narrative, as well as DeepIn as well, actually. And that's humans AI. The ticker is HEART. Now, the market cap for this coin is about $110 million. Do I think it can 50x? Again, just like the previous project Clearpool, I think it could, but my bets will more so be between a probably 20x to 30x in that realm. At least that's where I could probably get somewhat safely out of the coin at about a $2 billion market cap. But this coin is actually trying to do a net positive thing with AI for the world. And they're already adopted by a government, and they're trying to be adopted by more governments, and they have a pretty good relationship with NVIDIA, which is one of their partners, okay? An actual relationship with NVIDIA. They're actually partnered with the Romanian government already. They created a product called Ion, which is a real physical like robot itself. This thing here, it's like a 7-foot thing where you walk up to, it's in one of the Romanian government buildings, and you talk to it and tell it some of your issues. It observes the issues, it talks back to you, and it catalogs these issues and allows the government to refine some of the things they're doing in the real world. Pretty impressive sort of stuff. Following the ION sort of government program here, they've announced they're developing more projects with governments and political representatives in other countries like the Netherlands as well. And you can see they're even doing this with India. They had an actual meeting with the Prime Minister of India himself. And you can see here, they also engage in a series of meetings with other heads of countries regarding AI and their developments, right? Minister of IT and other government representatives and executives from over 30 leading enterprises in India, as well as the CEO of NVIDIA himself. And the whole humans AI narrative is, of course, helping the world, right? Trying to refine some of these governmental systems that we have in place, and therefore trickles down to the average everyday person by, again, using this powerful tool to our advantage, rather than just trying to make the best and fastest LLM. Coin 2 is a 61 million market cap, and I actually think this coin could hit some pretty insane levels because it is a direct competitor to a large cap altcoin we probably all know, which is Potenza. Direct competitor, very similar project. Potenza being currently a 4.5 billion market cap coin. I don't want to be one of them guys that's like, well, if 01 Labs went to the same market cap, then it would be a 300x. I don't want to do that, but there is no denying that the direct competitor nature here, and of course, 01 Labs being a stacked project, we can't deny that it could possibly go to even half of that at the peak of its possible performance as a bull run. So the current market cap is 61 million. Like I said before, there is a few more tokens to come out in circulation, but that is for a direct reason I will get to later on. It's not as bad as what it sounds. And these guys are actually a DEAI, or Decentralized Artificial Intelligence project, that pretty much wants to be like a layer 0 or a layer 1 underneath many other different networks that can build underneath it, that provides like sort of data security and encryption at the very core itself. So there's no way in which information can be stolen or misused. And this comes from the fully homophobic encryption, which allows information to be processed already encrypted. So you don't have to worry about, again, unencrypting things, processing it, and then re-encrypting it so it's nice and secure. It's just processed in a very secure way from the get-go. Matter of fact, I focus on AI, DeepIn, decentralized science, and machine learning. Now, I want to draw your attention here to decentralized science because it may not be a narrative that many of you know about, but decentralized science as a narrative is extremely powerful. As a matter of fact, for some reason, it's one of the best performing narratives of this bull run so far. You can see here, second recently trending narrative. However, earlier on in the cycle, this was like the #1 trending narrative out of all of them. You can see here, decentralized science is among the top performing narratives right now, and I'm guessing most of you didn't even know it was a real thing. So these guys don't hit 1, 2, or 3, but 4 massive narratives. Now, the roadmap's also important to have a look at as well on these coins, if they have a clear roadmap and if there is a significant update on the roadmap in the future. We can kind of count on that being well publicized and drawing in a large group of new retail investors to buy the coin itself. And that's what's happening here. these guys have a mainnet in 2025. So at some point, they will deploy their mainnet. And at some point, this will gain massive traction, considering right now there is no mainnet. And this is just all built on hype around what the coin could be and could do. Look, guys, I think the coin's got a lot of potential in store for us. Now, this was as low as 15 cents. But again, I do think you don't want to be buying towards the top here. You might want to let it cool down if it does allow us to cool down. I think if there's going to be a cool down point, it's got to come in the next month or two before these micro caps begin, picking up steam, or there's a, AI pump, for example. And to answer the questions of the tokenomics before, Kyron, there's a lot of tokens that still come out in supply. Yes, I'm not here to convince you of the coin, of course, but if we zoom in and get a better idea of this unlock itself, we only have to be concerned with up to 18 months. There'll only be about 240 million tokens in supply. And at that, most of the investors and advisors and so on won't even have their tokens by then to dump on us. So the current supply here being about 91 million, we're only going to pretty much be doubling that. So that isn't too bad at all. It's a very fierce area being AI, but I think Z1 can definitely do it. Our last AI coin also hits the AI agent and therefore kind of the deep end area as well, and that's Spectral. Spectral's 170 million market cap, so no, I don't think we see any more than probably a safer 30x estimate on Spectral's price here. But I love this coin mainly because, again, of the AI agent model. You can create your own. You can literally build your own agent by just using one of their existing agents by typing in and it creates your own Solidity code for you. So you don't have to be a developer. You can just simply write what you actually want to create and it can create it for you. Now, I was in here using the app itself for quite a while. It's still in its early infant stages, of course. I was using the on-chain explorer here to pull in information like the TVL of Aave, for example. Some of the APIs aren't working, but again, as this hopefully will continue to get better and better as the bull run progresses, I think we'll be just fine. So here's the Syntax Agent Builder. You can just build your own, tells you how to go ahead and do it. It's very, very simple, and create your own to do a specific thing, right? Now, this is very appealing for people in crypto because, of course, if you have someone who is creative that creates a pretty interesting AI agent, it could create a massive buzz around that agent, therefore bringing attention back to Spectral. Now, as we know, looking at investors are a somewhat important thing to assess, especially if there are quality ones. And like the rest on this list, we do have very good investors. We have Circle themselves, Jump Capital, and Samsung. Yes, Samsung. You probably own a Samsung phone. Those of you who own a Samsung phone. I own an Apple because I'm not crazy. Either way, the massive investors in this case, right? Franklin Templeton. I don't know why these guys are in tier 3. Matter of fact, I don't know why these guys aren't in tier 1. But either way, massive investors, of course. You can see over here as well, we do have some more Parafly, Galaxy Digital. This is Mike Novogratz's company. Polychain Capital. I mean, these should be S-tier investors as well. And lastly, meme coins. I've got to mention meme coins. I don't love meme coins, but there is one meme coin I do love, and there is one meme coin I do own, at least currently. All right, meme coins are the highest and best performing narrative overall by far. This is relative strength, and they're up 12 or 13x, should I say, on the market. They're up 13x versus the rest. They're not up 13x on average. They're up 13x above the average, which is incredible. Now, this coin that I am interested in is very small market cap, $44 million, and that is Foxy, guys. It's the one meme coin I currently do own. I'm not going to add one or two more, but either way, Foxy has done very well for me so far. I honestly would not be surprised if this coin went to a 1 billion market cap or more. It is the de facto meme on Linear, and when Linear decides to launch in the next few months here, I think Foxy will absorb half of the market cap of Linear wherever it goes to, okay? Especially because people are calling for this sort of meme coin space to be a super cycle. Nothing to really say about Foxy other than it is a cute fox on the Linear network. Hey, I think it's a good hedge for me, personally speaking anyway. So guys, that will do today's video. I hope you have enjoyed. What do you think about these coins? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Or do you want to pick some up? Not financial advice, but let me know down below. Those of you who made it this far as well, let me know you made it this bloody far by hitting that like button. It means a lot to me, guys. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.